Welcome to Kletus Ray's Roadside Service. We just ate Good Sense. Gosh, dang, Good Sense is a damn good sandwich. Tell you what, I used to think of Good Sense as like the old place. Subway was always the place where I always got my sandwiches. Subway is not good now, unless you're in Australia. But anyways, that's a good fucking sandwich. You got me a penny club. Uh-huh. With all the goodies on it. Anyways, we are loaded already. We're getting out here they got one of my roads shut down that I take to get to my main highway, and so now I got to go around a little bit, but won't be a big deal. I didn't even get a full load though, either. I got, I think, 1,600 gallons. But I took a day off because they weren't going to have enough, and I thought they would, eventually load more product in there for me to take, or not product, but waste. And so I show up today because everybody told me I needed to go out here and get a load. Get out here, and they hadn't loaded any extra in there, so I just loaded whatever I could, and ended up only being about 1,600 gallons. So I'm a little less than half full. 4,200 gallons is what I normally am maxed out on my weight. Um, so less than that, a lot less than that, but we're rolling. Trying to think of anything else going on. Oh, I was on my way home yesterday, and I was just driving home, and I was like, I wonder what my uncle's doing, because he's at home a lot, even though he's out and about quite a bit too. But I was like, let me just see what he's doing, and it was like 5 o'clock yesterday, and I was like, hey, you want to go ride? He's like, yeah. I said, wonderful. I'll be at your house in 5 minutes. I'm on my way home, and I'm right down the street. So, went over to his house, and we sat and we talked about bikes for a little bit, and then we hopped on them and we took off. And he's like, I want to show you my tracks, because he's got a couple of little areas that he goes. I mean, in the city, like, this is you driving by on the highway. You're like, there's nowhere to ride a dirt bike around here until you're on a dirt bike, and there's so many places you can ride. There's so many fucking places. You're not supposed to probably ride in these places, but what are they gonna do? Nobody's gonna. You're not fucking anything up. You're not, pissing anybody off. You're just out having a good time. So anyways, we ride down and we go in between a highway, and then there's like a wooded area down below, and we just jump down in there. And I was a little cautious at first because it was a steep ass hill, so I went around a little bit of the fucking steep shit, even though I was like, oh, I'll just ride my brake down. That's what I think whenever I'm, not riding my bike. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. But whenever I got there, I was like, oh shit, I'm not going down that fucking hill. I don't even know what I thought would happen. There was also trees at the bottom of the hill, so I was also kind of worried about like sliding into the trees. I'm on worn out street tires, and we're on grass and gravel. So I soon found out that yeah, my I don't get grip at all, because we went to a couple of his track areas where he's just got like little areas that they're not tracks, but I guess technically they are tracks. It's just where he's been riding. He'll ride up the bank, and then come down the bank, and then have like a little area where he whips the ass end of his bike, and then runs down this long straightaway, and then there's like this big whoop section that you can see where he's jumping it and everything, and then another big area where he's just looping around trees and stuff, and he's got the bank dug out pretty fucking good over there. Um, but he rides the same way everywhere he goes. So there's not any more tracks than just the one track that he's been riding every single time. So it's dug out real far in one spot. Other than that, the grass is untouched. And so I roll in there, and I am like, I don't know. He's like, get in the groove, and I'm like, dude, I'll get in the groove, but I feel like I'm gonna lean too far to one side. I'm gonna get wound up and fall over, because it's just for the tires to fit in. It's not a very big little area, but and I have no practice with that, and I'm on. Like I said, I mean, I'm gonna keep using this excuse. I don't think I'm gonna wear out the excuse until I get new tires, but these tires are worn out. Like there's no grip. And I ride on the road quite a bit, so I'm really used to using the front brake quite a bit. And you cannot use the front brake off road. You can, but not. You got to be easy on it, or you're gonna just going around the corner hit the front brake and you're gonna slide and fall. But no, we did probably like 10 laps of the big track, a couple laps down at the small track. We did a little bit of trail riding through some trees and shit. Wasn't super exciting, but I mean, it's way better than anything else. It was just good to get out and ride. Not on the road, do a little off roading. And then we started whipping up into one of the neighborhoods, and we get back, and we're on a walking trail. And he's like, "Yeah, come on, we got to get up ahead." And he was hauling ass through some of these walking trails, but this walking trail in particular, it was blocked off at the other end, so nobody walks on this trail, and he knew that. And there's other little trails that dip off into the ditches and shit. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun, a lot of fun riding around, and then even with my slick tire on the grass and stuff, I couldn't. He wanted to go on some hill climbs. I was like, I'm telling you right now, I'm not doing any major hill climbs. We did do a couple, but that was just to get into where we were and to get out of where we were. But he's like, "Oh, I got all kinds of cool hill climbs back in the woods over here." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no. You can go. I'm not going." He's like, "Yeah, I haven't taken my DR back there yet." He's like, he's got a Yamaha 250, and he that's what he usually will take back in the woods and everything. But I was like, no, I don't. I am not gonna. I've been watching too many hill climb videos of people, getting 3/4 of the way up and dumping their bike, and then them and the bike come sliding down the mountain and shit. And I'm like, I ain't even gonna put myself into a position like that right now, because that's ridiculous. But we had a lot of fun drifting around on the grass, doing a little bit of trail riding. And then we go back to his house, and we're sitting there talking about bikes again for forever. And, I'd still be there if I could, talking with him. But it started getting dark, and the traffic hadn't really let up quite yet. But I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get the hell out of here. So I ended up riding home, and it was a nice night ride home. It was pretty cool. Pretty fucking cool. Good times. I was gonna wear my t-shirt home. That's what I showed up to his house in, was a t-shirt, because it was really nice yesterday. But after he started talking about trail riding and stuff, I was like, I'm gonna throw my jacket back on, because there ain't no way I'm gonna be getting scratched the fuck. Because some of the places he goes, especially right now, because well, not especially right now. Everything's dead. Everything's hasn't grown back yet. It's just sticks and branches and shit. But he hasn't been out on all these trails in a while because it's been cold and not good weather or whatever. So these trails hadn't been rode on in a while, and I was like, I ain't gonna. But when the mosquitoes started coming out, the mosquitoes are fucking out. That's for goddamn sure. I had to clean my visor off on my helmet. I was hitting so many, but We had a really good time. Really, really good time. Nice night ride home, no problems. Um, and that was about it, really. Um, I have so much to talk about dirt bikes, and now I'm done with the story already. Damn it. No, it's just there are some things that it doing off-roading like that, even the light shit that I'm doing, it really shows you about where you can improve, either in equipment and skill and whatnot. Obviously I need to be riding a lot more off-road kind of like that to get used to it and to be a little bit better, because you could tell I was like a noob out there. I was like, damn, because we've done other trail riding, but trying to ride around a track and shit, I'm like, I'm not doing good at all. I know I'm not doing good, but I don't know the track that well. He's he's the one that made the track, so he knows every corner, every little thing. And there was some rocks in one of the corners that I stopped and I picked all the rocks up. He's like, you don't need to pick up those rocks, just run them over. I'm like, well, your house is like right over there. My house is kind of far away. If I pop a tire on one of these fucking rocks, it's gonna be no good for me. And they're fucking me up as I'm coming in the corner. I'm looking at the rocks. And that was another problem I had, is not looking ahead, especially when you're coming into it like one of them sharp corners that's super banked and super deep rutted out. I'm looking at the bank and the rut and my front tire and everything. He's like, no, no, no. He's like, get into the groove and look ahead. Your body and your bike will do the rest. You don't have to worry about it. Just look ahead and go in there. Go in kind of slow down before you get in there. But as soon as you come, like, get 3/4 of the way through that corner, punch it, and then you'll rip out of that motherfucker. And it was a good time. But yeah, it was kind of weird. We merged onto the highway traffic, 70-mile-an-hour traffic, and then we just darted off. I mean, I was following him. I did it a little bit easier, but he just jumped off the fucking side of the highway, down into the grass, into the median. I'm like, oh shit, dude. It was kind of cool. And the only way to get there is from the highway. There's a creek that's kind of tall. I mean, he said if he had his dirt bike, he'd ride through it, but he doesn't want to do it on his DR for some reason. Even though he owns one, he knows what it is. He still is like, these are not near as capable as dirt bikes, and I understand that, but it's still pretty fucking capable. It'll still do all kinds of shit. Uh, he looks at it as, just a road legal bike you can take on light off road trails, and which is true. But I've seen people take them through some hard shit, and I feel like I could end up, going on some pretty crazy shit with that bike. It's got the ground, and that's another thing. His bike is low. I didn't realize he must have changed something about it, because he's low. Like, his bike is super low, and he's like, oh, it handles way better when it's low like that. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, maybe. Lower center of gravity, he can get into those. And I guess that's another, you got an unexperienced rider on a lifted bike on bald tires. That's just, there's a lot of changes that you could do to make that a lot better, but whatever. And I'm not trying to compare myself to him, because he's the motorcycle man. He knows anything and everything about motorcycles and riding them and racing them and doing all that shit. So I'm not going to compare myself to him. I'm just comparing myself to me. I just need to get myself in there and get more used to leaning that bike over in them corners, getting in them grooves, looking ahead, picking up my feet, hitting the rear brake. But that's where my mechanical limitations are coming in to play, is because there's a lot of things I noticed, and he's like, let me feel your clutch. And he's like, that clutch is super fucking hard. And I'm like, is it though? Like, I don't know. This is my only bike. I don't really have much to compare to. He's like, yeah, your clutch is really stiff. He's like, I would get a new clutch cable and possibly take that part of your engine apart and get in there and clean up and lube it up and make sure everything's good with your clutch. He's like, because there's no reason your clutch should be that hard to pull. And also, I got a choke problem where the lines for the choke or the throttle, could be the throttle, but it's fuel related, whatever it is. They come down the handlebars, along the side of the frame, go under the tank, and then go to the carb. And whenever I turn hard left, my idle goes way down, and most of the time the bike is wanting to turn off unless I give it throttle. So that's why I think it's choke related, because the throttle is kind of set up to where it's set to a certain spot. It's not going to overextend one way or the other because it's got the dual cable setup. But the choke cable is just one single cable, and I'm thinking that, because the choke, you pull the choke and it idles high, and then you turn the choke off and it goes right to regular idle. And I think whenever I'm turning, it's pushing it past that point, and it's going to less than regular idle, and that's why it's turning off. And there is a broken part on my carburetor. It's like this little plastic nut that holds the choke little elbow, and it's broke off, so that choke elbow just kind of wiggles around down there, and I'm guessing that's what's doing it. So I've seen people, they just put on like a mini choke. It's like a little thing you just bolt to the side of your carburetor, and you can pull the choke out, let it run or whatever, and then you just got to reach down there and push it back in, and then you're good to go. That's an option. But I don't know how much of this is original to 1999. I think I'm going to go ahead and the throttle cable and everything, that's all fine. That's all good. I don't think there's any problems with the throttle. But replacing the choke cable or whatever's broke with the choke, and then the clutch cable and whatever else is wrong with the clutch, I need to work on those things. Get those. He's like, yeah, because if you did one of those hill climbs, there's several times where you're cranking it full left, full right, and if you crank it full left and it turns your bike off, you're in trouble, dude. You can't be having that motherfucker turn off on you without you wanting to turn off. So that's a thing I need to work on. Also, standing up and riding, because I do a lot of sit-down riding, and I only really stand up whenever I'm about to hit big bumps and shit on the road, and I don't really notice it. But whenever I'm off-road and I'm going over, some whoop sections or just rough terrain or whatever, when I stand up, the handlebars are kind of low for where I want to be. So one way, or what a lot of people and almost everybody in the DR community says is one of the first things you do when you get a DR is you get handlebar risers, which I had them on the bike. I took them off because I didn't like how high they were sticking up. But handlebar risers and lower the foot pegs. But I was like, well, having the handlebars 2 inches higher isn't really making that much of a difference when you're sitting down riding. But I guess when you're standing up, it does make a pretty big difference. And then having the foot pegs lowered 2 inches. But when you add those together, that's 4 inches. I mean, that's a decent amount of difference. But I never wanted to swap out the foot pegs, because whenever I haven't with the new suspension yet. I'm kind of still learning the bike because it acts a lot different now than it acted before. I got really comfortable with the old soggy suspension that was on there before. I would throw that thing into corners, or like roundabouts, or just corners on the road, and I would lean over damn near my boot on the foot peg hitting the ground. I would lean that motherfucker over. And it was so much fun. But now I got this new suspension on there, it's a little bit stiffer. Instead of it it's kind of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to explain it, but instead of like absorbing all the bumps going around the corners, it's like bouncing. But it doesn't bounce. That's the thing. It feels solid, But just going around corners, instead of it, the suspension soaking up bumps as you're going around, you have more potential for the wheel to just lose contact with the road entirely, and then that, with a heavy lean in a corner, having that front or rear tire lift up off the ground is how a lot of people fuck up and end up sliding out their bike, and I don't want to do that. Really don't want to do that. So I've been a lot more cautious. I've been getting a little bit better every time I go around a roundabout or take a corner or whatever. I try to lean and lean and lean. But that's why I don't want the lowered foot pegs, because right now the triangulation of my foot on the foot peg to a heavy lean, I have more, and if I lower that 2 inches, that's less lean that I can do. But I also don't need to be leaning like that. It's a dirt bike. It's not a street bike. Street bikes, they're meant to be leaned over quite a bit. Dirt bikes, you can lean them over, but it's a dirt bike. You're not supposed to be, putting your hand on the ground as you're going around a corner. You're sitting way higher in a totally different position, sitting straight up. But a lot of that's going to change once I get these new tires too, because having these new tires that are more aggressive, that's less contact with the road already. So leaning around corners and stuff is going to be a little bit even more sketch. But I don't know. I don't know. I do have an adjustment on my dog bone underneath that hooks up to my pivot point for my suspension. I have it on the raised area. I might just, as long as the suspension is stiffer for me, maybe I will lower that down a little bit, and that will help out with a little bit with center of gravity and control and whatnot. I don't know. I probably won't do that. I'm gonna get the bike set up and get some things fixed on it before I start fucking with the suspension again in that way. But he was showing me, without me sitting on the bike, he was grabbing the rear rack and shaking it up and down. He's like, dude, that's bouncy. I'm like, yeah, it is bouncy, but not when I'm on it. It really, I mean, when I'm on that thing, before I would have a couple of rebounds every time I hit like a big hump in the highway or whatever. It'd be like a bounce, and now it's not really even a bounce. It's more of a cushion and then back up to regular ride height. And it's convenient that I ride the same highway to work every single day, so I can see exactly how different it is when I'm riding the thing. But I don't know. Overall, very happy with it. There's a lot of things I'm going to be changing to the bike as the days go on, making it better and better every time. And I don't know if you do ever get your bike to a perfect setup. I don't know. I think all different types of things change, and you're always constantly tweaking it and trying different things out, adding things, removing things, so it's just so much fun. I'm so glad I decided to go this route and get a bike. So excited. I got the bike. I ride the bike. I enjoy the bike. A bad day of riding is better than a good day at work, just about. I mean, a bad day at riding usually means you severely broke something or fucking fell off. And I don't know. I'd rather have a good day at work than fucking fall off or lock up the engine. But nope, it's a good bike. We're looking at all different other kinds of things about his bike and my bike that are different. He's got a different carburetor than me. He did end up getting fork socks instead of the rubber fork guards or whatever. He's like, yeah. I was like, when did you get those? He's like, yeah, I saw you roll in here with those on the other day, and I thought those looked pretty cool. So I did a little research and I picked up these. He's got super long socks, but mine, you can still see some of the shininess of your um, forks, but his, everything's covered up. Looks really nice. I like it. And it's starting to make me think maybe whenever I decide it's time to switch out my fork socks, I'll switch them to that. Which lane do I need to go on the highway here? I need the left lane. I don't know. Don't want to jinx it. Don't want to really talk about it quite yet. But I might be getting something else that's really cool. I mean, I did talk about it once before. I guess I could talk about it. But I don't know. I think I might save that until it actually happens, because it might happen pretty quick. That would be a good thing to. I don't know. I'm thinking about getting my kids a dirt bike. Thinking about getting this little 50cc. Think that'd be fucking cool. Get them a little helmet, chest protector, elbow guards, all the good shit, and get him a little 50cc dirt bike and send him on his way. Oh God, it'd be so cool. My buddy Tyler, he's got a couple of them, two little Suzuki's, PW50s, and they're awesome. And so maybe I'll look into the Suzuki, but I was looking at the Hondas just because that's what's pretty popular. They make so many of them. Little CRF 50 CC Youth, and that would be just the coolest fucking thing to give my kids. And it would be getting pretty close to their birthday, but I don't know. He doesn't show a super big amount of interest in dirt bikes and stuff, but maybe that would change if he's got one. I don't know. I want to hang out with my son, and I want to do what I want to do too. So maybe get him excited about it. I don't know. But he's so scared he's gonna fall over on everything. But that's how everybody starts out, scared to fall off. And you are. That's what I'm trying to. It's gonna be hard to explain it to him with him, not understanding it. But yeah, you're gonna fall over sometimes. You're gonna fall over. You're gonna fall off. You're gonna be pushing it a little bit too hard. That's part of. That's how you learn. It's like you gotta crash. If you're not crashing, you're not pushing yourself enough. Now, I'm not going to put that on me. I'm not putting that on me and what I do, because I don't want to crash at all. I think I already know how to ride. I don't need to fucking crash. Definitely don't need to crash. Don't need to fall over. Don't need to do anything like that. But for him, just learning balance and stuff. I mean, him on a little 50cc just running around. Oh, it'd be so cool. And yep, and even my daughter, don't want to leave her out. She's actually shows more interest in any of this stuff than he does. He just wants to play video games and stuff. But all that same stuff goes for my daughter too. She can learn to balance and stuff. She gives up quick though. My son, he'll at least get back up and try it again most of the time. My daughter, nope. She's like, I don't want to do this, and she runs away. It's like, all right. Damn, what are they doing? What are they doing over here on the highway? They're fucking got this all clogged up over here. I thought it was only northbound that was clogged up. Looks like southbound's pretty fucking bullshit too. Single file, everybody. Are you gonna let me in? Thank you. And I mean, I don't really mind buying a used bike, but I don't know. In order to make payments on something like that, you got to buy new or pre-owned, but from a dealership or something. And people off my Facebook Marketplace don't really want to accept payments, for obvious reasons. And I'm not trying to do that. If I was going to buy something off there, I'd get it all to go. But I don't know. I even that so that's why I'm kind of excited about it. Because I brought it up to my wife again earlier today. I was like, "Hey, I think spending $27 a month for a dirt bike is for a little 50cc for the kids is a good idea." And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. We can. We'll look at the bills and everything, and I don't see a problem with that." I'm like, "Nice, irresponsible, but nice." Letting me. I love toys, man. These are just toys, but they're bonding. Whenever my kid looks back, it'll be like my dad got me I had my own dirt bike. When I was 6 years old, and I would love him to just get into it, and that is a cool sport. It's a cool sport riding dirt bikes and stuff. Maybe he eventually becomes pretty decent at it and starts doing other shit, dirt bike related or something. Quad, go karts, dirt bikes, bicycles, something. I think it'd be fucking fun. Oh man, that was a big ass. I got a 16-inch good sense sandwich. That's a big fucking sandwich. I've been trying to eat less lately, but I couldn't resist it. I was like, give me that big one. Oh, super good. Got my hotel figured out today. Also, I don't know, I've been seeing some stuff on the internet about super fire danger, and it looks like where I'm staying is right in the middle of the fire danger, so that's exciting. Maybe I'll see a fucking wildfire while I'm down here. Be interesting. I don't know. It's like, yeah, there can be a wildfire in the middle of Oklahoma, but it's like, I don't know. There's not a lot of growth. It would be a wildfire, but it'd burn up pretty fucking quick, and there's also like nothing around, so it's like it's not going to really. I mean, obviously there's houses and farms and other businesses and whatnot, but they're surrounded by concrete. Like how bad could the wildfire actually get if it spread over there? There's not like big neighbor. Well, there is a big neighborhood over there, but I mean, Alva's a pretty big town. I just hope there's no road closures. That would really fuck me up. Having road closures, like, oh yeah, there's fire. Don't drive into the smoke and go around. Damn it, dude. I got me a case of water though. I could fucking liquidate myself, and I ain't catching on no fire. Uh-uh. Anyways, I'm kind of running low on shit right now. Let me think. Oh, old Jason gave me a call. Old Jay from up in Canadian Bacon gave me a call today. That's the first time I talked to him since he got back from his Mexico trip. He went down to Mexico, was on a badass resort, and had a good time. He said he was out swimming in the ocean. He said he was out in the middle of the ocean swimming. He almost got hit by a jet ski. I said, "Oh shit, dude! Don't go in the ocean." Have you? I don't know. I feel like I've talked about it here on the podcast before. Don't go in the ocean. Don't go out there, man. You were gonna fucking cut me off, you stupid motherfucker. This fucking work van was. I had my blinker on. I'm waiting for this fucking Audi to get out of my way, and then I was gonna get it. And this fucking work van just fucking slides right up into my spot. I was like, "Hey, man, got big fucking signs on the side of the road and shit." And this Dodge does not realize that the fucking speed limit is back to 75. What are you doing, dude? Speed it up. Why are you going so slow, Dodge? Speed limit 75. You're doing 50. Come on, man. All right, now I'm going to gain a little bit of speed here. Speed it up. Oh. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, you guys are tired of hearing nothing, so I'll be back. Good morning, everybody. It's the next day. It is looking badass outside. I'll tell you that right now. Like the blue sky is coming through some of these dark clouds and whatnot. It's pretty cool. I guess I should have taken a picture, but now I'm turned around and I'm going the opposite way. Oh well. It was cool, I promise you. But no, it's 6:40 in the morning. So it's I don't know. I could have woke up earlier. I did wake up earlier, and I watched my phone go from like 6% down to 0% with every alarm. And then whenever it got down to 0% or like 1%, I was like, I better get up because this thing ain't gonna go off again. Why did I not charge it? I don't know. I don't know. I was laid in bed. The air conditioning was blowing cold, and I was snuggled under the covers all night long. I did not want to get up and grab my phone charger, is what happened. Really, it was like, you know what? It'll be fine. It was like last night. I was like, I got 15%. I think I'll be okay. You know, and these are things that this is what happens when I'm snuggled up into a bed, and it's got the AC going too high. You know, things go wrong. I'm gonna just not do the things I should be doing because it's too fucking cold to sneak out of the bed and run over there and grab the phone charger and then plug it in, and then all of a sudden now I'm awake. You know, that we don't want that. We don't want me being awake. It's time to sleep. You know, and then I'm awake and then I'm scrolling on Facebook or whatever, you know, and I've got some things I need to look up that I've been trying to look up a lot lately. You know, like dirt bikes for my children. I've been looking them up, but I've been looking them up. I don't know. I feel like I'm probably going to go ahead and go with the Honda just because it's at a good price point and they're reliable as fuck, you know. And I don't want to buy a clone. I don't want to buy a Chinese piece of junk, even though I don't know, is this Honda made in China now? I don't know. But anyways, it's going to be a good bike, so I think I'm going to go with that. But I really would love to go with the Suzuki. They have a Suzuki, and funny enough, it's called the DRZ50. That's kind of funny. It's like me and my son could both have Suzuki DRs. I thought that was fucking sick. And the Suzuki is probably my favorite 50cc of them all because it's got kickstart and electric start. The Yamaha TTR 50 has electric start. It's electric start only, and they're automatic. They don't have a clutch. They have an automatic transmission on them, so you can't even bump start the fucking thing. Like if the battery for the electric start goes bad, or you know the button messes up, or the thing ain't gonna fire up until you fix it. You know, so that kind of drew me away from the TTR, even though I think it is pretty cool. They redid the plastics on it. Um, the Honda's just old reliable, kickstart only, and just reliable. And these are all 4-strokes. I did not want to go the 2-stroke route. There's a lot of 49cc 2-stroke, the PW50 that I was talking about earlier in this episode. After doing some research, because I forgot that they made 2-stroke and 4-stroke 50cc's. I thought everybody just had 4-stroke. The PW is a damn 2-stroke. And my buddy Tyler, because I called him to talk to him about him, he had one from back in the day. You know, I think it's purple, white and purple, with the steel stamped, 3-spoke wheels, and that was his first bike that he got from his dad, and that was, well, I don't know if that was the first one. He had another one. It was a Suzuki, the RM50, I think is what he called it. I don't remember. My dad ended up getting it from Tyler, and my dad restored it, and then I don't know what happened to it after that. I don't know. I don't know if Tyler declined to buy it back, or if my dad never offered it, or if they did. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened. It's kind of I think my dad might have just sold it to just somebody random, but you know, I don't know. The that bike might have. I think that was his first bike. My dad restored it completely. Put a new seat cover on. Well, I mean, he restored it completely. He didn't tear the engine apart. The engine ran fine. I think he just did an oil change, changed a couple of seals, and I believe that one was 2-stroke too. Anyways, I think he got new wheels for it, new tires. Got the tank cleaned up and repainted, new handlebars and all that good stuff. I don't know. That was a cool ass bike. I remember Tyler, I believe down at his dad's place, he had the PW50 and that Suzuki little 50cc, and sometimes we would ride around on them. But oh well, I don't know. I talked to him about the PW50 because, I've been going around in circles right now. But Tyler has that old PW50, fires up, runs, rides around on it. And then I went over to his house. This is before he moved away. And I show up and he's like, look what I got. And he got a brand new PW50. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You already have one. Why'd you get another one? But in his mind, he was going to make one of them a practice bike and one of them a race bike for his daughter. He got the training wheels and stuff. It was a badass little thing, but he said he's been having nothing but problems with the new one. the new one hasn't ran properly since he got it. So I don't know. I don't know. Sounds like it could be something pretty simple, but I don't know. I'm obviously not there. I had no idea the thing wasn't running right. But he did steer me away from the PW50. He said, if you get it, maybe get the TTR 50, but don't get the. He's like, stay with 4-stroke or whatever. So, and I want to stay with 4-stroke anyways. I asked him if the 2-stroke one that he had an automatic mixer, and he said, yeah, it does, which is convenient because I would like to be able to just add a little gas here, add a little oil here, and then I don't have to mix it up into a little fucking beaker and fucking make shit, I don't have a full, you know, a full gallon or whatever, because I used a little bit in the lawnmower. Now I got to ratio out my fucking 2-stroke oil. I don't think it's that important. I swear I just saw a tractor, like, riding the shoulder right here, and it just disappeared all of a sudden. Like, I would have seen it turn. People keep sending me fucking jobs, goddammit. Hey, quit sending me jobs. None of them are good. So yeah, I don't know. I still have a little bit of a dilemma. The thing is that the Suzuki DRZ50 that I would love to have because it's got electric start, it's got cool looking plastics. It's a Suzuki DR, and I'm riding a DR. They only sell it in one color, which is yellow. Yeah, I would love to get that one. And I might, but it's another $1,000. It's like $2,600 instead of $1,800. So don't know if I'm gonna go that route. Just because it's like, all right, is electric start worth $1,000? Is electric start worth that much more on a bike that I don't know. I don't think so. Which sucks, but the Honda, it's got kickstart. It'll be fine. It'll be brand new. It'll kickstart easy, and it'll ride, and I can show my son how to kickstart it. I guess that is a problem if say my kids learn how to ride pretty good, and then they just decide to take off with it one day. They could just if he can't kickstart it very well, or like set the choke or whatever he's got to do, the electric start, he could probably just sit there and fucking, I don't know. But anyways, I'm super excited about doing something like that, and I even talked to the wife more about it. She's even more on board, which is weird. So I don't know. It's like, I feel like this is a decision you should be against, and I should probably not do it. But I'm also too much of a kid that I am super excited about it, and I'm going to try to do that, especially when I'm getting a little bit of, yeah, go ahead and do it. Fuck, I want one. Now Tyler was saying that he's like, yeah, just go ahead and buy the training wheels for it too. But that's where I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I think training, if I could just borrow some training wheels for a little bit, that would be cool, but I don't think so. Because that would help him learn how the bike operates. He could learn where the brakes are, he could learn where the throttle is, and he wouldn't have to focus on trying to balance a heavier bike also, because I think the thing weighs like 100 pounds. So it weighs more than him, which is, I don't know, I guess fine and normal, but I don't know. If he could just focus on like, oh, this is a dirt bike, this is how I go, this is how I stop, this is how I turn, and then he can focus. Once he gets that down, then take them training wheels off. But I think if I put the training wheels on there, he'll be begging for them, and he'll like, it was way more fun when the training wheels were on there. But if I do no training wheels at all, just give him no option but to ride it without training wheels, he'll learn balance, and he'll learn the bike. He'll learn the bike in the proper fashion to ride it. So I don't know. I don't know, man. And but it would be super cool to have like a little pit bike, because I could ride that thing too. I'm not gonna break it. I've you can be pretty heavy on those fucking things. And they make them. They make like lift kits for them, so like adults can use them as pit bikes to run around and whatnot. So it would be pretty fucking cool to have that thing. And so I guess the training wheels situation, the training wheels for dirt bikes is totally different than like training wheels on bicycle. If you didn't know, it's like a big bar that goes under the foot pegs, so it's more centered to the bike, and then it's got two big. I don't know if they're big, but it's got two rubber tires, and so you can kind of tilt. And I wonder if they let you, if they're adjustable, so you can raise them up. So it's like you have to balance still, but whenever you go into a corner, you're not going to lay it over on your leg. Now that would be a little bit different. I might, if I look into the training wheels, I might, if it's adjustable, I'd be more on board with getting some, because he'll still learn balance. He's not going to ride leaning over, you know. But if he does fall over, the bike isn't going to fall on him and burn his leg or something. Then I got to get all the riding gear for him too. Well, at least a helmet and some gloves. And then I'll make him wear jeans or something if he rides it. Little boots, little dirt bike boots. Oh God, I don't know. I never had anything. I never had like riding gear. Well, I guess I did whenever I was first got into dirt biking and stuff. Yeah, I bought a chest plate off of some website or whatever, and it was cool looking, I guess, but I don't know. Once you start outgrowing them, and then your belly's just hanging out, and you're like, this is kind of weird. I also talked to Luke yesterday. Luke apparently has a gaming PC that he just has never mentioned to me ever. He's like, yeah, I got a liquid cooled gaming PC. I'm like, huh? What? Since when? He's like, oh, I've had it for a long time. It works. I'm like, dude. But I guess it's old, so it's running on Windows 7, and I guess I don't know enough about computers really. I just have a gaming laptop that I slapped some RAM in, so don't be looking at me with any questions about gaming PCs really. But I'm like, if you got a tower, like all those components are changeable. So I don't know if you need to change something, you just need to download something. I'm not sure, but that would be pretty fucking cool, because then we could play a lot of games. I would be more open to playing some other games if I could play with my buddy. We used to play Grand Theft Auto. I don't think we ever played Farming Simulator together, but we could, because that's online. And he has a PS4, so I guess he didn't understand. He was kind of confused, but the PlayStation Portal that we bought for my wife, instead of buying a Switch 2 or whatever, we bought a PlayStation Portal. It's like only $180. And it's got cloud streaming on it for PS5 games. So we don't have a PS5 at all. If you want to play PS5 games, you could buy one of these for $180. You got to buy the Ultimate package, PlayStation Plus package, or whatever the fuck it is. But then you can cloud stream games, which means I'm not buying any of these games. I'm just playing them. You click on it, it loads fast as fuck, and you're playing PS5 games on a little portable handheld deal. And I don't have a PS5 at all. I just have, the PlayStation Plus account or whatever, which you probably don't need to have a PlayStation to have a PlayStation Plus account, but I have a PS4, and I just upgraded because I had the Essential package, and that's so you can play online, and you get a couple of free games or whatever every month. But now I got the Ultimate package on the PS4, and we linked that account to the PSP, and now I don't know. I figured it out, and I'm pretty not smart, so you guys can figure it out. PS Portal is pretty badass. My son's been playing the new Spider-Man game on there, completely free, other than paying the monthly subscription and shit. And then I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS5, which is a little bit of a different game than the PS4 version. And there's all different types of games on there. There's really good games. There's some old games. There's some weird games. There's all different kinds of shit on there. So I think it's really worth it. Instead of spending $400 on a Switch 2, because you still have to buy a Switch, like a Switch account to play online, I think. And then you also have to buy the games. And then if you don't like the game, you're kind of stuck with it. You can buy the digital download or whatever. Or you could buy the little cartridges. But with the PSP, no. I mean, you could buy the games for your PlayStation 5, and then you could cloud stream them to this. But there's so many games that, I mean, I don't know. Unless it's a specific game you want to play, I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to talk to Luke tomorrow about his PC and stuff. Because he's going to come over. Well, I don't know. I need to talk to the wife still. But last night we kind of agreed to have a little bonfire at my house in the backyard with the kids and run around and have a good time. Should be cool. Trying to think of anything else. I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this. I might record again today. I'm not sure, but I wanted to finish out that episode, or this episode. I kind of was being real silent. We kind of ran out of shit to talk about. Here we are. Everything's going good for me. About to go here. I do have a new CB radio that I got from my boss. She bought me a handheld 40-channel CB radio. I don't think it's got a lot of range. I don't think it's got like any range at all, really. But I think it's going to be good for this place, and I'm going to test it out today. It works. I know it works. I heard one trucker all the way from Kansas City down to Alva. My radio turned on one time, and I heard somebody talking. And then by the time I could grab the radio, they were out of range. So I think it'll work. I don't know. But, yeah, and I don't know. I'm not looking to sit here all day, but I could have got here earlier and probably got in and out and home by like 2 o'clock. But I don't really want to do that. I want to get a little bit more hours. Kind of need the hours to be a little bit more than they are right now. So everything's going great. I'm doing a thumbs up in real life right now. I'm saying things are cool. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll talk to you later.